What you need to know. Yemen's Houthis declare a naval blockade on Saudi Arabia, effective immediately, threatening to close the el-Mandeb Strait and cut a further 7% of global oil supply. A 10-day ceasefire proposal has been put to Iran by mediators in an effort to salvage the interim peace deal, according to Reuters. Burnham takes power as Britain's new prime minister, purging his predecessor's cabinet loyalists on day one. In world news, Yemen's Houthi movement declared a naval blockade on Saudi Arabia, effective immediately yesterday, Singapore time. In a televised statement, their military spokesperson said the move was as reported by Reuters, an eye-for-an-eye response to what they described as Saudi Arabia's long-running siege on Yemen. Saudi Arabia has threatened to respond with force. The Saudi-led coalition told Bloomberg it has taken steps to protect vessels in the Red Sea. If the Houthi blockade closes the el-Mandeb Strait, the gateway to the Red Sea through which around 12% of global trade passes, Reuters estimates global oil supply would fall a further 7% on top of the 10% already lost through the Hormuz closure. Separately, a senior Iranian official told Reuters on Monday that Tehran has received a proposal from mediators for a 10-day ceasefire, the first concrete diplomatic signal in days that efforts to salvage the interim deal signed last month are still alive. Burnham was sworn in as Britain's new prime minister on Monday, Singapore time, replacing Keir Starmer after winning the Labour leadership. Mr. Burnham immediately reshuffled the cabinet, removing Starmer loyalists, and held calls with world leaders before announcing a 10-year plan to ease cost of living pressures. In the region, Taiwan will deliberately slow mobile internet speeds for 30 minutes during annual civil defense drills in August, the first time such a measure has been tested, cutting high-bandwidth services including video calls, streaming, and social media across 14 cities and counties home to around 70% of the population. Sri Lanka's armed forces have been deployed to help contain the country's worst dengue outbreak in nearly a decade, with Air Force drones tracking stagnant rooftop pools of water and military personnel inspecting homes, building sites, and schools for mosquito breeding sites. In Singapore, acting minister in charge of Muslim affairs, Faisal Ibrahim, resigned yesterday. PAP chairman Desmond Lee confirmed no by-election will be called in Marine Parade Bradell Heights, GRC, saying the PAP will provide details in time on how it plans to strengthen the team. Analysts said Prime Minister Lawrence Wong's swift handling of the matter reflects the high standards expected of public office holders in Singapore. In companies and markets, oil eased slightly this morning after Monday's sharp rise, with Brent crude at $88.87 a barrel and West Texas Intermediate steady at $82.47, both still near their highest levels in more than a month. The ceasefire proposal from mediators briefly weighed on prices. The London Stock Exchange has announced plans to launch a nighttime trading platform in the first half of 2027, initially offering exchange-traded products such as funds tracking the UK and US markets, according to the Financial Times. And stocks we're watching include Yeo Hyap Seng and Foundation Healthcare. For updates throughout your day, visit bt.sg. And don't forget to check in with our Wrap podcast, Market Focus Daily at 6 this evening for the day's market movements.